What's up, everybody? You feel me? And man, we gonna speak on the migration of black people to California, specifically Northern California. You know what I'm saying? And I could take my story back about to the early 1920s. You feel me? Maybe even further than that. My grandpa lived to be 100 years old. So did my grandma. You feel me? He came out. First of all, my grandpa helped build the Bay into a black infrastructure that we see being destroyed today. When they cross cultures or when they try to steal our swag, our words, our dances, and not even include us and give us credit no more, you got to remember, black culture in the Bay was specifically black. You feel me? I mean, I even hung around Mac Dre, like, yeah, everybody in the crowd was multicultural, you feel me? But even then, man, you know what I'm saying? The side shows, the all that was specifically for us and only in our areas. People wasn't fucking with us like that. So when it took off, when Drake started doing it, the world started doing it, they disincluded a lot of African Americans in their own culture, especially in the Bay. And you don't see the swag like it used to be out there no more. It's been completely destroyed, and when you pay attention to why it was destroyed, you realize that them not paying no homage or no respect, you know what I'm saying, to the culture when they steal it from us. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be the Jabberwockies or Drake from Canada, the goal was, after slavery, for the blacks who were capable of migrating to go up north. A safe spot for black people was the Bay. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of, radicalized thoughts out there. You feel me? And the plan was to get on and start bringing more from those racist southern states. You know what I'm saying? Send help. It wasn't to divide us from Southerners to, you feel me, like, you know what I'm saying, the West Coast. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't like that, bro. We all the same. You feel me? So my grandpa migrated from the oil fields. He used to work in the oil fields. He didn't become wealthy or rich, but he got enough to get out of that, get his family out of that segregated system, and he moved to Richmond, right? And with his own two hands, the building's still there to this day. He built multiple apartment complexes for him and his family on his property and his land. You feel me? And, it's 2023, and I'm definitely a product of that. And, I represent Sac. You feel me? My grandpa bought my family a home in Sac. See, my grandpa had about 7 kids. He bought all of them houses. In my world, the Huxtables wasn't just on TV. We was all the way around it. Like, even to this day, like, we'd be embarrassed to other black people and our friends to bring around our family because they so successful and prominent. Like, we didn't want for nothing. And growing up in that what I call a bubble now, it was a huge black community. Don't get it twisted. The whole Bay used to really be like, you know what I'm saying, areas of black businesses, successful black men. I didn't think homeless people were black. I just thought that was just another word for like trailer trash white people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was taken care of. I say that to say, you feel me? I had to go to Richmond every summer, and I hated it. You feel me? And it's because that's where my family was from. Now, they would just send me as a child out there for the 3 months you had off in summer in Richmond. Just leave me there. And my grandparents old as shit at this time. Man, so, they welcomed me. I guess they enjoyed it. Look forward to it. Sometimes it didn't feel like it, but to this day, man, it's like even being around your people, you learn a lot from it and you don't realize it even as a child. I used to sit there and watch my grandpa on the porch, because, you know, I always used to go play on the porch and shit. Hella snails, hella fucking roly-polies and shit, you feel me? They own their own land and shit, so I just had to wander the acres and the apartments, you feel me? And play with shit, you feel me? Grandpa had a garden in the back, you feel me? He fed himself, you know what I'm saying? If you hear my heavy breathing, that's my grandpa, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? He used to really sound like the Darth Vader. Oh, you lived to 100 though, bro. So very active his whole life. But back to the story though. I used to sit on the porch and watch my grandpa. Like, I used to be scared for him because he used to be dark. Anybody from Richmond, specifically the north, y'all know, man. You feel me? Them streets was raw. You feel me? If you was from around there to this day. You feel me? This around the time where they had to call the National Guard in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because it was like the murder rate was high. But man, even at an old age, my grandpa used to sit on the porch, and I see these black men come over and have a conversation with him. You used to have a come, like, we didn't have banks back in the day. We had Codie Williams, who I'm named after. You feel me? And people like him in the communities everywhere. Not just my grandpa, but people in the communities everywhere. And even the first black mayor, you know, and I didn't know them till my grandpa's funeral that, you know, the first black mayor in the Bay came to my grandpa's funeral and said if it wasn't for him, you know, it wouldn't be a black man in office to this day in the Bay. He financed and helped pull those strings to get the first black mayor in the Bay his seat. My grandpa was very powerful. What he was doing was, those were black businessmen who was legit, who couldn't go to them banks. They would come see my grandpa. Whether you had a family, you needed money for a home, like, man, grandpa was rich, you feel me? So I really can't cap, you know what I'm saying, when it come to being a kid, you feel me? I was always told, when you go ask your grandparents for something, don't ask for too much, because they'll give it to you. Ask for something decent, you feel me? So before, like, when I started driving cars and stuff, like, you feel me, man, Pops would be like, you know what I'm saying, go show me your grades and don't ask for nothing too much, man, I'm gonna beat your ass. You feel me? But yeah, man, you know, hey, these was the type of people, black people, man, that could give you anything you asked for. They wasn't even tripping. Like, to be honest with you, I used to be scared for my grandpa because he used to have so much money in his house, and it was just him and my grandma and his shotgun. And, you know, like, I mean, you can only think of the lore of living in Richmond as a rich man back in those days of lawlessness, and you protecting yourself and your family, your apartments. The gangbangers didn't come on our side of the street. Of course, my grandpa owned multiple apartment complexes and a few homes. He was buying his kids homes and everything. So, like, my uncles and aunts, they lawyers and doctors, and, like, it been that way. Like, when society try to tell you that black people ain't been successful and they ain't doing, man, listen, I got cousins that was, like, headed to medical school as teenagers, man. You feel me? On their way to be doctors, because when you got doctors and lawyers in your family, they're just gonna be like, do this, do that, and, you know, skip the line. Plus, you know, prominence, you know, and power, you know, brings connections to get you up through the line. And I hate to say this because systematically that's all been destroyed. If you used to live in Richmond in the 80s and 90s, like, even now, the only reason why it's still black people there is because they own them homes. They outright. You see what I'm saying? And they got the shells. Remember the pink cloud, bro? I was out there for the pink cloud. But on some real, that pink cloud really messed me up, though. I had a super bad asthma attack, so shells should still be paying me. But remember when we all got that check for being in Richmond? You feel me? And the shell refinery You know what I'm saying, in the Bay. We used to blow up all the time and shit. And they just used to send out a check to the community, man. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. But yeah, man, you know, it was a lot of black men out there that, you know, back in that day, man, y'all had to come together and work together to build communities and stuff. Most of them buildings was most of them buildings was black owned. Like I went up to the corner store, the grocery store. It was like, you want to go to this black grocery store today? This black grocery store today. And you don't even need no money really, because they know who your parents is and your grandparents. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And Kevin, you feel me? You know, HD son, man, you feel me? Y'all call Irk the Jerk, man. I grew up with him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was one of my closest cousins. We used to spend the summers together and stuff. You feel me? I guess he really ain't my cousin though, but you know, they was so close to my family, it was like he was, you feel me? He damn near the reason I stopped coming to the Bay Area every day, you know, because if you in or around my family, like we was successful out there. We wasn't the bums, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was on, everybody, like, our family function was so big because my grandparents, like, they was really like kings and queens on their throne. So, man, the whole city would be around it. And so, you know, you had a lot of family that really wasn't family, whatever though. But me and Kev was like, you know what I'm saying? We be out there all summer long doing our thing though. You feel me? He lived like one house away. You feel me? We used to be on the block doing hella shit. He used to come out the sack with me. But yeah, one time I guess he got into it with somebody. You feel me? And that was my little cousin. And you know, in Sacramento we was really like more country. We was way more tough. We was like, you know, in the Bay, a nigga will pop your ass. But in Sacramento, nigga, we out here chunking them and shit. You feel me? Perfecting our you know, our skills and shit in the field. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, he get into it with somebody or something. And, you know, I come out there trying to punch on shit. And back in that day, you feel me, you know, I wasn't smoking weed yet. So I was a huge ass kid. You feel me? And I guess they thought I was grown or something. Then they went and got some niggas. The niggas came with pistols. And then, you know, my family, they really, to be in Richmond, you know, you certified. So my family got involved. You feel me? And when my uncles came out there and had to get busy, you feel me? Because, you know what I'm saying, they don't play like that. And niggas don't come talking. So, you feel me? I swear, it was like in a few hours, I was whisked away back to Sacramento and really didn't come spend the summers out there because it was up. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Small things lead to big shit out there. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, man, the consequences is death. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about the streets of the Bay, man, especially Richmond. It ain't like that now just because, I'm going to keep it real. We still own those buildings out there, but, and it's some black people that own them buildings, but, man, it's they taking them areas out and getting rid of the blacks and misappropriating everything to other cultures. But you gotta remember, it's a strong presence. Oh, and my grandpa built the church. The church burnt down out there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? My auntie, my family's still in there working, you feel me? I used to have to come sit in the front pews. But all that as a child, I'm trying to teach you, man, is instilled in you. I still, you know what I'm saying, can hear the Lord. You feel me? I still know my Bible verses. You feel me? Even though, man, grandma used to whoop my ass in that church. I fall asleep on the front row. And anybody who know me now know, bro, I still will pass out on you. You feel me? That's just a part of the move. That's why my cars are so cool. Nigga, you want to drive? I'm finna take me a nap. I don't care what's going on. Sleep is the best thing in the world. Nah, but yeah, man, that church still there, man. You know what I'm saying? My grandparents built, man. It was like, you look at that now, man, and the culture and how they make us look and make us feel about ourselves. And you realize how powerful that was, that they could pay for anything like that. And that's how we all should be. We should be moving forward, not going back. Now we have a culture developed off of that we could get paid off of, but people keep stealing. And you look at the clubs now, they doing our dances and ain't nobody black. You know what I'm saying? They saying our words, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Incorporating our recipes with theirs and saying they got a claim to it. And I'm from SAC, and I look back, and this is history, and I'm just being honest. Like, they say we are together, but y'all not having contributed to us or anything or our struggle. But y'all want to take the best from it, and it just don't make no sense. And I know it's a lot of black people in the Bay that remember this, because I only used to come on summers, you feel me, and spend my time with the family. But y'all all know we didn't know people who rented. They people own their home. You feel me? And that's prominent. And they did it by themselves. You gotta respect that. They didn't get to go to banks. They didn't get help. Their parents and all that didn't get to do all of that. They built it themselves, man. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And like I tell my family now, hey, I'll be in my own house is worth $1 million. But I'll be damned if I let y'all sell my grandpa's shit off. Because if you split it up between all y'all, it ain't gonna be much. What's more important is that shit is a black monument. My grandpa built that with his own hands. You feel me? For his family to live in. You know what I'm saying? And really, like, you know what I'm saying? When I say come together, like, you know, my family be written to other races, Asians, Mexican immigrants. Like, we giving everybody the opportunity to win. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to my family name and my people, man, I expect the same thing. That this was part of our culture. My grandpa wasn't a hater. You feel me? It's a lot of people that was at our family reunions that ain't even got the same blood as me. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And when they say Codie, like, yeah, my family's still big, but I'm the only male with this name, with this last name, man. You feel me? For all these generations. And you feel me? It's a lot of us with the blood of kings that you can't let society or anybody, a black woman, a racist human being, tell you that your family done got you to this point for you to be nothing. You feel me? We all must strive for better things, because that was the goal in the first place. If you in these areas, to preserve your culture. And I ain't hating on nobody, but what I'm saying is they calling now black people in the Bay is looting everything, and they calling us thieves, and they the ones stealing everything from us. Does that make sense? Till we have nothing left. You feel me? So when I see those little kids like running in the streets, stealing, and they like, oh, it's black people. Oh, it's the Bay is going bad. No, y'all took everything from them. Y'all worked them out them properties. Y'all worked them out them. Y'all got them. That property's worth so much in the Bay now. You gotta remember when we was there, man. It was all bad. But look at Chinatown. They held their area. You feel me? Look at the other cultures. No disrespect to y'all, but y'all hold y'all areas. There's parts of Richmond now that are completely Mexican. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? and a lot of them ain't even from America. Y'all hold y'all areas, you feel me, and to kick us out of ours. We build them up, we make them worth something, then you guys turn around and want it for yourself because the culture is what stands out. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, as black people, we gotta remember the goal and who we are and think about everybody else like my grandpa did. And I'm kind of mad at my grandpa's because you was rich and owned those apartments, but you stay in that environment. So as strong as you was to resist, it's people in the family that became crackheads, that are dead, that are affected because they were either influenced or targeted because of who they was. Like when you grow up in the hood, no disrespect, and you successful, or you got a successful family member, trust me, when they go behind your back and to them under the bridge, they talking about you. Oh, he got this, he got that. You know what that is. You feel me? Like, personally, my family been run dry because you can get with a female in my family and a bum ass nigga can sit on the couch for the rest of his life because we gonna make sure they straight. See? Make no sense. Don't. So, like, I understand that we call a low income area the community, but it ain't. That's just a stepping stone, man. That's just a ladder on the plank. You feel me? It makes no use to get money and stay in a bad place because eventually, what's in that water, what's in that air, what's in that conditioning, when you walk out, hey, when we had to walk outside, man, like, look, me and Irk the Jerk, man, when we talk, we be like, hey, it was some crazy shit going on where we was, bro. You know what I'm saying? Night and day, man. You know what I'm saying? Niggas outside with guns. So sack to me was like child's play for what you already was seeing in Richmond. You feel me? And even though we was protected where we was at, hey man, we own this whole side of the block and everything, you feel me? Been here the longest. It's still there. Man, you step out on that street, they zooming past. Across the street, they in that garage y'all couldn't be in on my side. Man, on the other side, man, they shooting up, and you see what I'm saying? And all it takes is somebody going outside naive. I think it was Charleston White who says that the other day. He said somebody mama and daddy going to work all day. Everybody else, mom and daddy on the block at home, hating on your mom and dad because they got shit. Like a nigga told me one time, right, oh man, he always talk about my dad more than I do. And I didn't even notice that he noticed him. That nigga ain't had no daddy. You feel me? And my dad pulling up in the latest whips and shit. Well, pretty motherfucker. You feel me? You know? But my dad been to college and he worked. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people didn't like my dad. And they told me when I was older, and I was like, wow, why? You didn't even know this man. It was just having a dad. He's successful. It's just like wearing a gold chain around a bunch of niggas on welfare. You feel me? See what I'm saying? So you got to start understanding what the black community is, what black culture is, and a rundown community is, and separate the two. You feel me? At the end of the day, we should all elevate. Because this is how the world is ran. You want to go to the best schools. You see what I'm saying? So we move out of Richmond to what we think is the suburbs. If you come from the Bay to Sacramento, it looks like Disneyland, right? Still to this day. But then those areas, they start making low income, Section 8. Because when we first moved to Meadowview, you couldn't even live on my street unless you bought the house. Fast forward to my 20s. I bought a house in Elk Grove when they was begging people to just buy a house on a dirt road. You see what I'm saying? But back to the story though, you come out here and we moved to Meadowview. Meadowview is a beautiful, if you still drive through it, looks like it. But when you bring the Section 8 in, the low income in, now you just surround a bunch of people who allowed to be bums, who are privileged by the state. And that's who, now when you go there, that's, even if you look now in these areas, it's the only people that can afford to live there. For real. Why do you think Natomas is so bad now? You feel me? Those systems the government created to make us depend on them instead of ourselves. So now nobody got to respect nobody because she getting a check from the county, whether she do you like this or do you like that. You feel me? But if you go to the original way of living, man, listen. My mom and dad just lived in an apartment in my grandpa's house. And my grandpa's, you feel me? To this day, it's family members scattered all through my apartment complex, all through that apartment complex in my family name. You feel me? If you ain't got nowhere to go, you can always go there. Now let's think. That keeps us for generations from being homeless. You ain't got nothing else, you can go live there. Man, help clean up around the grounds. Make sure these other people, watch these other people don't not mess up the property. You feel me? Get yourself together. But now you give it to the government, and she pay all these apartment complexes now is low income in the hood. Who you think the lady got in there? They signed the lease to say a man ain't supposed to be in the house. They can't get married or do none of that. And then they say they're looking for a man. If she do get a man, she just gonna hold him up. You can't get married. Why? They gonna kick her out. So when the kids start getting old, you see these bitches start having more kids again. Why? That's how she gonna pay her rent. Then you smash into a brick wall, and you need the kids to take care of the parents instead of the parents taking care of the kids. Because once all them programs is gone, she gonna teach her kids how to get in the programs and come live with her. See what I'm saying? Now you don't have no men walking around with the skills to build a house like my granddaddy did, or keep it up, or build another one. You see what I'm saying? And help everybody in the community build shit around it. That's all they doing. That's why the Bay worth so much now. They talked y'all out of y'all land that y'all developed for them. And now they using it as an oasis for themselves. If it was a black community, it meant nobody else wanted to be there. See what I'm saying? Then to get y'all out, they put the immigrants in and made y'all and got rid of y'all. Because you know they not gonna complain. And then once they want to build they high rises and stuff, hey man, they just gonna call the exterminator. Y'all not supposed to be here. You feel me? And that's just how it go. So if the game of power ain't in your soul, you feel me? You need to incorporate it somehow. Especially if you black. You should be worried about ownership instead of you should be worried about owning the wall and the land before you get caught up in any pair of shoes or be obsessed with any of them in there. You feel me? Or you shouldn't have all that type of shit. You shouldn't be driving nice cars unless you got garages to keep them in. I'm just saying. Hey, and this is how the world is, man. You feel me? If you keep being around gossiping ass, hating ass people that tell you, oh, you ain't gotta be shit, and I'll still end up with this apartment and my Honda, don't listen to them. They the reason we're on the brink of extinction. So you can just call me broadcasting from my life raft. You better get you one. I'm K Code, and I'll show you how. But make sure, if I give you the power, you hold me down. And that's how we build a town. That's how my grandpa did it. I watched it myself. Man, shout out to Codie Williams. Rest in peace, Grandpa, man. I love you, man. You feel me? Make sure y'all pick up my book. I didn't get to go to his funeral because I was in jail on some, just because the system is against me. Somebody could say something against me, not true, and ruin my name, my family, you feel me? And you know, I could lose ties with my family over somebody who feel like I ain't worth a breath in this of air on this earth. So yeah, the book is called Night in Dark Armor by Codie Williams, and I appreciate it if you pick it up, man. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? My next book is finna drop. You know, I don't care if they buy it or not. It's more like therapy to me. I gotta tell my side, you know, because where we from as a culture, we deal with so much bullshit inside because we taught to not say nothing, and that's a victimless, and that's a victimized state of mind. To let people tell you they can, because the minute they know you're not gonna say nothing or speak up for anything, it's endless what they do to you until you come to yourself and say, bro, that was wrong. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing worse than holding wrong inside. That's why people victimize you, so you can feel like you evil because you complicit. Like with racism, pedophilism. If you keep that shit in, you complicit. You just as bad as them. You better speak on that shit and not be scared of nothing, man. You feel me? Because you gonna end up like me and look back and say, man, damn, bro, I've been through hell and I'm still here. Man, these niggas some bitches.